Welcome back, my wayward wanderers, to the Anzac Corps. How could I resist my brethren? However, the main reason for this little escapade is to re-establish my skill with machine guns. Now, I've never been the greatest one for light machine guns. However, I'm hoping to try and get a little bit back into it. Now, I must admit, that hip-fire rampage was actually perfect. It was fast, it was quick, it was concise, it got the Germans out the way. It was a good show. Now, the point of aim seems to be slightly below where you think it is. So, I'm aiming about... slightly low of where I thought it was, but it was actually slightly higher than where I was aiming that time. Interesting. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you want to go light machine guns, why don't you use like the Hotchkiss that the Belgians use? Correct. That is my favorite machine gun. However, the point of this endeavor is to improve my skills with light machine guns in general, so I may as well use the one I'm not too good at, which is the Lewis gun. Voice in my head, are you there? I am listening. Well, voice in my head, what do you think? I think your initial luck in that first 10 seconds, and you're probably never going to repeat it. Well, thanks for the sterling vote of confidence, voice in my head, you dick. Although, I will agree with you, voice in my head, that these sights are hideously unattractive. Alright. Let's try and filter around. If we're not getting firing lines on where we want to be, we need to be where the action is. We are men of action. Ooh. Nice. Alright. Come on, my Anzac bloody lads. Let's ham at them. We ain't gonna let the bloody Poms get all the glory, are we? No, we bloody ain't. This ain't gonna be another fucking Gallipoli situation. We're gonna kick the shit out of these krauts. And nobody is going to mention Turks around here. Alright, let's get this bloody party started. I want them to be whistling... I want us to be whistling Waltzing Matilda in Berlin by this time next week. You know, I wonder if... I bet someone has whistled Waltzing Matilda in the heart of Berlin. That's something that somebody should do. Or, you know, to be more Kiwi. That's the problem. We have our national anthem, but we don't have any really iconic sort of songs, do we? Oh, we're attacking. I didn't even realize. But we don't have any really iconic sort of jingles like that. Got our anthem, and that's really about it. I mean, there's a few Kiwi musicians and things out there, but nothing that I could immediately point to, and if I started singing it, you'd go, ah, New Zealand. That sort of thing. Suppressing fire. That was awful. Right, but yeah, I don't actually, voice in my head, can you think of any iconic Kiwi sort of, Kiwi sort of music? I mean, there's Slice of Heaven, and there's a few Dave Dobbin stuff, but there isn't, not really anything I can think of. Oh, what about, oh, good. Now, I guess there is Lord, voice in my head. Yeah, but we don't know, this is because we don't give a shit about the modern youth, modern music, and modern trends, but is they even popular? I don't even know. Like, I think there's that Royal song, but I mean, who really fucking knows? Or gives a shit? Well, just because you don't give a shit doesn't mean that the rest of the world doesn't give a shit. Incredibly true, voice in my head. I don't give a shit about 90% of the things that the people of the world seem to think is good. And I'm proud. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I am not one of them. Bit arrogant, isn't it? Well, bully for them. Also, we should have just charged in with the Lewis gun and hip-fired. That was a... Is that one of our or their artillery barrages? But that was a not an ideal use of the Lewis gun. Right, we're going to use the 455 to get up close, and then we're going to whack them from there. Alright, friends. Let's go. In the name of the bloody Anzacs. Up and at 'em, chaps. Up and bloody at 'em. Right. Cop and fire. Oh, what the fuck was that? Opening fire with a machine gun. Some bastard fucking German Kraut scum got lucky on me. Fucking hell, voice in my head, that pissed me off. Yeah, you do seem to hate arbitrarily dying. Although sometimes you'd wish it would stick. Listen, voice in my head, we're not going down that road again. We walked that one far too many times in the past. Right. Poison gas, that just makes it difficult for us. Oh, fucker. Alright. All troops fall back. Ow, ow, ow. Fucking ow. Alright. I really don't want to be shot in the back. Shot in the back. Shot in the back. I don't want to be shot in the back, so we stick to the shell holes. Fucking suppressing fire. Fall back. Good. Right. This is probably where the machine gun will be slightly more useful. Right. Creep up. Don't get sniped immediately. Seriously? Right. Enemy movement in the trees. Fire at will. How did I miss all those bloody shots? Although, on the bright side, I do have a bit of a covering position to the road here. I think a more skilled machine gunner than I could probably get a few kills and positions. Well, you've got a little bit of cover, pretty decent sight lines. It's just working on your aim and trying to avoid being sniped or flanked. Oh. Got him. Oh. Reload. Get the bloody drum pan mag in. I'm surprised it looked like this magazine style didn't kick off more. Like, it's not a bad idea. I mean, the brain gun magazine was perfectly successful. And that's basically just an idea from the Madsen machine gun. Well, the Czechs used to do some pretty decent firearms back before they all fell apart, didn't they? Ah. You could have killed me quite easily, because I was struggling to... Oh, that's a bit of bullshit, but I was struggling to actually pick where they were. Oh, they're assaulting the ridge a bit. They're probably attacking up the top. Yeah, from the death markers up the top there. I reckon, voice in my head, we get the machine gun on the choke points and just hip fire and try and blast our way out of that one. Wild grenades and artillery going off? Well, not particularly, but... Ah, fucker. That's the problem, not being able to aim down sights and not having a crosshair. You can't bloody figure out where you're supposed to be hitting. Pity, because I can get pretty decent at finding the old hitboxes. In the original Star Wars Battlefront 2, I figured out the hitbox for the sniper rifle, so I can just aim fire, like hip fire with that. Which is good, because that actually is a 2-shot kill to the body. Ah, fucking Ziegler. With a name like that, you're probably going to get killed in 20 years, by the way, you fucking bastard. Actually, that's a bit rude, even by my standards. Not that he's going to get killed in 20 years because of a last name like that, and yes he is. But wishing upon him demise because no. He's going to have to deal with enough shit in 20 years in the future. Right. You had a Madsen. You could have bloody cleared me out pretty easily there, but you didn't. Oh, bloody Scotsman. I mean, no. Like, if I was an English soldier and I accidentally fired upon a Scotsman, that would be acceptable, like, understandable. But I'm a Kiwi fighting. I'm not allowed to shoot this at the Scotsman. I think a lot of the farmers from around here used to come from bloody Scotland. In fact, I think father's side great-grandparents were Scottish. Greetings, Scots. If they were French and I was playing as the New Zealanders, then yes, of course I would open fire upon them. Those fucking bastards. Nobody likes William Ziegler, you cunt. But nobody likes bloody the French either. Can't. See, I can't say it like Australians say cunt like can't. Like, you bloody can't. But it sounds wrong to me. It's got to have the pronunciation for it to work, like cunt. I don't get why people are so hard-string about that word. It's interesting. That's the only swear that, like, my mother and father can't tolerate. Like, fuck anything else. Like, they're like, yeah, you know, keep a refrain on that sort of language, but whatever. But you bring out the C word and they're just like, nope. See, what the fuck? There were 4 people there. I opened fire, yet somehow I instantly get fucking shot? What kind of fucking training would a fucking German conscript have to when someone sets upon them with a fucking rapid-fire machine gun, their immediate thing is to do a perfect aim and fire routine? Fuck off. You fucking German disciplined shits. Eat shit and die. Sorry, that was just me being slightly angry at them. Also, my accuracy rating of this gun is going to be fucking shit, but then, who really cares about the accuracy rating? Alright. But yeah, it's just interesting about swears voice in my head. What do you think about fake swears? What do you mean fake swears? Like the shit from Battlestar Galactica? Yeah. Ah, that's bollocks. I know you're trying to get around censorship, but it's just you talking garbage. And it's like, just, be edgy enough to actually swear. Don't, like, be a pansy about it. What's probably slightly worse, is the shows that revel in it too much, and every second word is fuck. It's like, it needs enunciation. It needs something for it. It needs it needs a vehicle. Just saying fuck, fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck is just nah. But if you're like, you fucking bitch, or fuck you, then there's emphasis on it. There's a vehicle for the swear. And therefore, it's far more effective. I mean, yeah, and there are some words that need that enunciation. And there's others that, you know, are the enunciation themselves. Like, there's no such thing as fuck off, you hinted. Like, there's no sentence in the book of he hinted him to fuck off. No. So, but some of them need the vehicle for it to actually be effective. Why are you getting so invested in rambling about the appropriate use of swear words? Well, voice in my head, I'm kind of just rambling. I'm just trying to fight as best I can. Oh, I didn't even realize we could go up here. Oof, that's kind of good. Ah, that was never going to happen. See, the ideal weapon for this scenario is all the German weapons. The MP-18 submachine gun, or the artillery Luger with the 32-round snail drum. Oh, that's fucking bullshit. But those are the ideal weapons for this sort of scenario. Because the pistol cartridges are perfectly fine. You know, you only need to drop them. You don't need to fight, like, drop Zulus. So it's effective, it's reliable, good ammunition capacity. It's all you need, really. If this thing was cut down and actually had some sights you could aim down, then it would be bloody much more effective in this scenario. Like a handheld light machine gun should be great. Like the brain gun. That thing is bloody brilliant. But this thing, it's too heavy and you can't aim down sights. Good. I'm glad you got shot in the throat, German that shot me. I want to swap from to another weapon because I had this gun. The sights are garbage, so it's not good as a static machine gun. The hipfire is crap, so it's not great as a hipfire machine gun. If I wanted the best machine guns, I would go for... I can't believe I'm saying this. I'd go for the Chochar. No, I'd go for the German, the Madsen machine gun, if I was doing a hipfire. I was just hipfiring, like trench running, trench clearing. And if I was actually a static defensive emplacement player, then I would bloody go for the Hotchkiss. G'day, Anzac boys. But, yeah, the Lewis gun's probably, I mean, in reality, I like it. It's a very good machine gun. But in this, it's just not a great weapon to justify wielding it when you could just be wielding a rifle and you'd get the accuracy. Or a semi-automatic pistol. Alright. Oh, that's another thought I would like to think of. I was watching one of Reykjavik's videos. Bugger, there was someone on the fucking flank. And it was talking about, you know, does population of a game, multiplayer population really matter to it? And the answer is yes and no. Because I was thinking, this game doesn't have a huge multiplayer population. But it has the bots to compensate for it, so it's perfectly fine for me to play. However, some things, like, I tried to get into, like, Rising Storm 2 and Red Orchestra, but the lack of population for a multiplayer-only game means it's literally impossible to play. Now, while there was, like, 2,000 people playing Rising Storm 2, they were all on US servers, and the minimum ping I could find was 600. So for someone like me in New Zealand, that is literally impossible. Therefore, the game may as well basically be a... Oh, fuck you! I was hitting his fucking corpse next to him. Heinrich Schwarz, I hope you fucking get 1918 influenza and die, you cunt. But as I was saying, for someone in Australia, New Zealand servers, where ping is high, it doesn't matter if your player base is 500,000 or 500. If they're all in US or European servers, you ain't connecting to shit. It's one of the things I used to fucking despise about War Thunder, aside from the fact that the player base are assholes, is the simple fact that, guess what, buckos, the only populated servers are either North America or Europe, so good luck with 600 ping. And I know what you're saying, get better internet. Well, guess what? I am on the best fiber plan you can get without going to, like, business plan levels, which is, you know, that's insane amount of money. So I can't actually do anything about the internet. It's literally because of where the servers are. That's why games need more Australian servers. I mean, you don't need designated New Zealand servers, but Australian servers, I mean, pings like 50 to 100. That's perfectly acceptable for me. And I'm happy to deal with that, but the problem is nobody really does that, and when they do, eventually the player base just drops out because Australians seem to be a rather fickle bunch and don't seem to stick with games very long. So you're kind of out of luck. So, you know, that's that other rant going, but yeah. I think more games need to have the Verdun model of online but bots, so people... You can actually play with friends, or you can play with online. Like, I was playing with, I think there was 10 people in the server, which is, like, a lot for, you know, for this game for Australian servers. Or you can just play it by yourself, like I am, and fight against AI. If something like Rising Storm 2 had that, then that would be great. But unfortunately, and that's one thing I like about Insurgency Sandstorm, is that it has, you know, the bot modes you could actually play against bots. Although even then, sometimes the connection is a little dodgy. So, that's kind of my thought process on the subject. So basically, player base, you can play a game with a small player base. Like, I used to play in, like, on Warhammer 40k Space Marine. I used to play that on the PS3 servers. And it got to the point where you'd know everybody, because there were so few people left playing it, that you actually knew everybody who was in the bloody lobbies. It led to some cringy stories. I mean, fucking hell. You know, the whole joining clans led by toxic 13-year-olds. Yeah, I did that for a while, and I am embarrassed. But anyway, point being, we still had fun, because even though you wrote the server, you know, the player base was small, you knew everyone, but you were always able to get a match. While, unfortunately, in this modern age, you can't seem to be getting a match because you can't actually bloody connect to it. And trying to play a game at 600 ping is literally not a great idea. Also, the record for highest ever ping on a server was Mountain Blade Warband trying to connect to the server my friend was on, and the ping was 1 million. Oh yeah. Good times. Suppressing bloody fire. See, that's the point. There's more suppression, but there isn't. Although suppression's never done right in games anyway. I want to swap to anything aside from this fucking Lewis gun. I hate machine guns. I like a bolt rifle and a backup pistol. That's my bloody jam. Even if it's a garbage rifle, like freaking single shot Martini Henry. It's not garbage, but you know what I mean. It's still a freaking rifle. And while I can, you know, go around the corner and get 4 kills like this, it's not really ideal, is it? Reload the drum pan magazine as the guy dies in agony. Or looks like he's having sex with the floor. We're just going to put him out of his misery, because I don't want to see anyone dry humping the fucking ground as they die. See, right there, if I had a carbine or a submachine gun, I could just riddle them, but I do not, so I cannot. That's a bit better, though. Ah! Help me, Anzacs! Good thing he needed to reload. Reminds me of a good line from Venture Brothers. Hey, I need to take a piss break. Do you need to take a piss break? Yeah. What about you, guy upstairs on me who needs a reload? Click. What? How did you know that? I learned to count when I was 5, dude. I'm sad it got cancelled. It's a fucking amazing show. And one of the absolute joys about that show is it knows its own fucking continuity. Like, it actually... shit referenced in previous episodes is actually important and relevant. Not a single plot point is wasted, and everything that's interconnected is interconnected perfectly. To the point that you rewatch episode 1, and you see something that shows up later, and you're like, holy shit, you know, that's actually how it goes. It's just brilliant. That and the characters and the jokes and the writing is still top notch as well. I mean, it takes a million years to write and make a series of Venture Brothers, but it was because everything was polished, and I like to imagine every script was actually gone over with a fine-tooth comb to make sure everything connected properly. And that's something I miss from a lot of modern shows that kind of just don't really give a shit. It's like, oh, this guy has superpowers now. He didn't have superpowers before, but he just got them. And it's like, this guy had a great emotional breakdown and a, you know, character growth development scene. Next season, oh, that character development's gone for the sake of keeping the show running. Ugh. So rest in peace, Venture Brothers. You very, very good show. Oh, victory. Well, jolly good. Fare thee well, stalwart yeoman. Look, you can see me.